bed's going. Where's your bed, Sybil? Or is it in there? Oh, it is. My name's Jim Whitson and I'm an artist blacksmith. Originally I wanted to be a cabinet maker or a boat builder. When I was at art college I started playing with metal and realised that metal was better suited to form the shapes I was trying to achieve. First went to a blacksmithing event which is called the Forge-In, organised by the British Artist Blacksmith Association. That's a weekend of gathering of blacksmiths, a lot of knowledge sharing and socialising, and after that I was offered a job. It was actually only supposed to be for 6 weeks up in Tomatin with a guy called Mike Crummy at Tomatin Smithy. He was an artist blacksmith and I spent 3 years up there with him and we created all sorts of weird and wonderful things. So I was very lucky with my start there. There's not a lot of artist blacksmiths around, and there certainly wasn't then. The Blazing Blacksmith, it was a nickname I had when I was up in Tomatin, and it just seemed quite fitting to create images of fire and heat. Bit of humour, people remember it. Jim Whitson Blacksmiths. Didn't really describe what we do. We moved here about 20 years ago when Matilda, my daughter, was 2 weeks old, and the workshop that we are in at the moment is old poultry sheds, so they're not very high, they're quite difficult to work in. Like any workshop, when we started out there's quite a lot of space, and they've got more and more kit, so it's getting more and more full of stuff. Most of what we do is designed specifically for a site, for people, or for a specific person. We very seldom do the same thing twice. I do like to design things in a most difficult way generally, so quite a lot of our projects have pieces or components in them that I've never done before, so there's always a lot of experimenting with process and figuring out how to create certain shapes. There's a lot of different processes we use. Some of them are very, very traditional techniques, that hand forging, hand hammering on an anvil, which has been used ever since the start of blacksmithing really. Processes have changed quite a lot and developed so that we've got power hammer, which is a big pneumatic hammer which will do over 200 hits a minute. When you're drawing out these long tapers that we use, are great for sort of stems of plants. That's all done on the power hammer, because that's doing it by hand would just take you forever on the power hammer. Traditional joining techniques, which are like tenons and rivets and all that kind of stuff, and that can give a very definite look and feel to a piece, and a lot of texture and form. But then there's also now electric welding, MIG, TIG and arc. Generally we use a lot of TIG welding, which is very fine. I like them because they almost become a part of the design and a part of the texture of the work. We've now got gas forges, which are a development from coke forges. The coke forge was the original sort of vision that anybody would have when they thought of a blacksmith, of a big fire blazing away. There's a lot of dust and dirt that comes from a coke forge. The gas forges are very compact and enclosed. We've also got an induction coil, which is extremely fast to heat, and it's electric, and it's just, it's sort of the voodoo box of blacksmithing. It's they're fantastic machines. Done some amazing stuff. I've been really fortunate in the projects that I've been asked to do, because everything we do generally is drawn up full size on big sheets, so that we have a pattern to follow, and then we start making all the components, and then final thing is assembly. Done some amazing staircases, where particularly one that was a helical stair. It was a vine all the way up the stair, and that was a huge learning curve, figuring out how to form helical parts. A lot of fabrication, but a lot of forging in them as well. Mixture of stainless steel and mild steel. It gave some fantastic reflection when the sun hit them. Job we just fitted recently, which was a set of railings that were stylised tulips, and that was just a really successful job. It wasn't huge, but with the finials and everything, it just worked out really nicely. Just the way everything came together, and the client was delighted with it. Satisfaction at the end when you see it together and getting fitted, it's great. I think there's more people trying to get into it now than there was when I was starting. It's very hard to get started. It's hard to get premises is one of the biggest difficulties. They're trying to get a workshop space, and an affordable workshop space. There is still a demand for it. People still want that handmade quality and that individuality that you can only really get from a piece that's designed specifically for you or for your space. But well, there are a lot of blacksmiths who are very keen to only work in a traditional manner and using traditional skills. That's great. They produce some amazing stuff, but my philosophy is that blacksmiths have always been developing and embracing new materials and techniques, and I feel that anybody starting out now should embrace all the available techniques and facilities that are there. So that's my philosophy, really. Old blacksmiths in the 17th century, if they had the facilities we had, they would have grabbed them and run with them, because it would have saved them a huge amount of time and effort. I think embrace what's there, embrace what's coming, and use whatever you can.